to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone.
What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Kachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Welcome in episode 391 of the Real Life Podcast, brought to you by the HGA Group, here to make your business better. Check them out, hgagroup.com. Lovely. Episode 391, speaking of making things better, Baggedmilk is here, making this podcast much better. Welcome back.
Huzzah!
Yay, I did it.
He did it. He did a thing.
I didn't die.
He was bragging about partying so hard, and we're like, save it for the pod.
It wasn't even partying hard. It was just like
living your life.
I was living at a constant 4 or 5 out of 10 for a week, and it was great.
Yeah, that's nice.
I didn't have to drive anywhere.
Yes.
Jay, I drank a bunch of red wines. I don't know what any of them were.
Were they good?
Fantastic. Well, some not so great, but others were great.
Do you know which ones you didn't like? It's about finding the grape you like.
Yeah.
What do you match up with?
I should have taken notes. I just didn't. Like when you're cruising, I was just coasting. So I was just making my way through.
You unplugged too, which I respect.
Yeah. I didn't post anything outside of for a week, I think.
What you said, your screen time was down how much?
80% the last week.
Does it feel like a vacation of the soul?
Yeah, because like you just realize how much more shit you miss when you're not staring at your phone all the time.
I'm surprised if your screen time went down 80% that Apple didn't like alert the authorities that you're missing or dead. Yeah.
Well, it's probably because I was getting my steps in. So the Apple Watch is like, no, he's alive. He's just on the move.
Yeah, right. They probably should have a really advanced algorithm. They're like, Baggedmilk's down 80%. Give it time. He'll be back.
Yeah, it was good. So just kind of popping out to patios, drinking beers, drinking sangrias, drinking red wines. Delightful.
You mentioned you went to like a bunch of breweries and stuff too.
No, I didn't go to any breweries. I was just, I went to a bunch of like those multi-tap pubs, you know, where they've got 2,000 beers on tap.
2,000 beers.
Yeah. I would just find one and I would make my way down the list. So I was having all kinds of beers that I had no idea what they were.
That's the best. I love going on beer adventures. I'm convinced I'm still yet to have the best beer I've ever had. That's my quest.
Yeah, I had one in Vancouver at a place called St. Augustine's that had, it was laced just a little kiss, like a mwah,
PCP.
Of Reaper peppers.
Oh, jeez.
So it was just like one of those ones where it's like, what's going on here?
That's unnecessary. Yeah. You drink beer to cool down, not to heat up.
Amen. That one did not do that. In fact, if anybody could drink more than one of those, there's something wrong with them, because it wasn't that it was overly spicy. It was just unnecessary.
Do you like spicy Caesars?
I do love spicy Caesars.
Yeah. But like that Caesar should be spicy. That's different. Like
you're walking into the arena expecting that spice.
That's the only spicy drink I would tolerate.
Yeah.
On earth.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Spicy hot chocolate. You ever had one of those? I think they're real. Yeah. Spicy chocolate is a thing. And I just don't. Really? I don't get it. I don't get it. Spicy chocolate scone I had once at Little Brick. Great establishment. Don't get me wrong. Great. Yeah. Terrible spicy scone in the sense of. It was like a Mexican spice. Yeah, it was if you're into it, you would have loved it. But it's funny because certain things just like I love spicy everything to a point. There's certain things that I just can't put spice on. Eye drops. Definitely no. I've tried the Tabasco eye drops. They do not get rid of red eye. They actually give you more red eye. Yeah. No thanks. But there's certain things like I can't sweet heat. Yeah, I get like sweet chili heat. Like I get that on Doritos, on chicken. That's good. But you can't have like sweet or hot spicy chocolate. It just seems weird.
Spicy beer was weird. I also was compounding it with wings, so like it didn't. They weren't friendly. Remember when Trojan came out with those hot and cold condoms? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like some are hot, some are cold. Why would I do this to my most favorite finger?
Yeah. But they didn't tell you which ones were which.
Well, you could see, but it was just like change it up. Yeah. Like, do you want to put an icicle on your most precious friend or a lava sleeve? What did you say, Baggedmilk? You saw a guy pee in a snake skin?
Yeah. That was Bear Grylls from Man vs. Wild. He he cut the head off and like took the meat out and used the skin as a vessel.
Why would you need to save your pee, Jay?
Because it's delicious.
Yeah. Well, the first that's your drink, bro. Your first, you can drink your pee once. The second time it starts getting poisonous. Exactly. That's a life hack for you. We're talking about this today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have one shot. You got one shot. I would then you find some other fluid and then you can do another shot.
Yeah. I would have considered it on the little vacay because some of those beers deserve a second go.
You considered drinking your pee on your vacation?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, most days, but on the vacation especially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Think about the $1,000 peas you've had in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the bar and you run a tray of shots.
Yep.
Then you just go to the bathroom and you're like, goodbye.
Yeah, there was one where...
Goodbye, $90. Goodbye.
So I went to a wedding out on Vancouver Island and it's beautiful out there, but I made the mistake of not renting a car while I was there.
Walked everywhere.
Well, I was just like, so I'm doing the math in my head and I'm like, okay, well, I can rent a car for X number of dollars or I can just cab everywhere and it'll be fine. Whatever. And that also satisfies no Uber.
No Uber.
Really?
So yeah, Vancouver Island, no Uber.
Good God.
So I downloaded the Yellow Cab app, which was fine. It works the exact same. But
except for there's no cars.
Yes. So in Victoria, which is where I was a couple of days, all kinds of cabs, as much as you want. Any cab you choose, there's a cab for you. Although another aside about that city, I hadn't been there since I was a little kid. Everything closes at like 4 or 5 o'clock in that town. I imagine it's because the bulk of the population is very old.
Yes.
But I was just like, we had nothing to do, right? So as much as I like sitting on a patio at a pub all day, the missus didn't want to do that. So we're like, let's go to a museum or something. And it's 4 o'clock, so it's closed. But once you leave Victoria, there were no cabs to be had. So I walked everywhere. Man, did I put the steps in. One day I walked almost 20 kilometers, Wanye. It was like 40,000 steps.
That's Ironman levels.
It was over the course of a full day. Again, you walk to breakfast, you walk back, you walk to lunch, you walk back, you walk to the grocery store, get some cocktails, you walk back.
Like, you can write off a lot of them calories.
You
must have slept well.
And I was out most nights by 10:30, 11 o'clock.
The best.
With no alarm either. I don't know the last time you woke up. You got kids now, but
I barely use an alarm. It's kind of a superpower.
Just whenever your eyes wake you up, and that's when you start your day. It was nice. Been a while since I've done that.
That's living, buddy.
It was great. And again, you wake up, you have a cocktail, you have Caesar breakfast. Delish.
A couple of Tabasco eye drops and you're on your way.
Way to go.
Hey, that's how I say.
Way to go. Gets the heart pumping.
Yeah. Some habanero beer.
Yeah, it was weird. It was unnecessary. I'm glad I tried it.
There's some people there that like it, and that's fine. Yeah. 20 pack of hot and cold domes.
Exactly.
Start off your day. Speaking about hot and cold domes, I got some deep cold gel, very too close to the twig and berries.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is some of the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life. Chemical castration. Very close. That's probably what they use is dropping a vat of deep cold and it just falls right off.
It's funny that as you get older, you realize how bad of an idea it is. But like, I remember when I was about Pee-wee Bantam, that was our favorite prank to do to people, was to line people's cans with that shit.
Oh man. It's so rude. That is, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah. And we used to do it all the time. It was like our go-to trick.
That just means you're friends. You were at the drugstore, you see 12 kids in Bantam hockey jackets pull up and order 8. Yeah, you know what they're up to.
Yeah, there's deep heat for everybody.
Giggling like, the drum of the deep cold. Yeah.
Yep.
4 deep colds, please. It's funny. I play hockey with an eclectic group, and it ranges between the ages of like 30 and 60 years old. And the old boys' room just reeks of A535. You can just you walk by it, and it stings your eyes like Tiger Balm and A535.
I love Tiger Balm.
In the right places, yeah.
Yep. I have a bad back, you see, so I like to put that on my back. Let me up.
I'm getting like a dad back. It's starting my lower back's starting to hurt from all this baby carrying, but I'll get used to it. Just got to train the right muscles. Gotta shock the core again a little more.
Oh, definitely need to shock the core. I feel like that's my back issues are more just carrying my gut around.
Yeah.
Last 10 days of none, but drinking and eating is the best.
Packing it on.
Oh, man.
Tighten it up. Have a salad for lunch.
Oh yeah. I'm on salad season for sure.
Yeah. I had the dog patch bowl, garden bowl or something. Anyways, it was a vegetable.
Yeah, I had none for the last week.
That's all right. It's okay you gotta go live, man.
The best part about being in Vancouver though, is there's just like coffee shops and restaurants everywhere. So like the only problem with being there for only 4 or 5 days was just not enough time. I had the best sushi. We had this one spot where we had to wait for 2 hours before you got in.
You waited for 120 Earth minutes?
Well, it was early. So I went in, I was like, poked my head and I was all excited. Cause like when the menu outside is all in Japanese, just in my head, I'm like, this place is going to be fucking awesome.
We don't need you English speaking people.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So I went in and put my name down. They're like, it's going to be 2 hours. It was 3-4 o'clock.
Baggedmilk, son.
So I went in there, man, did I eat in there? Crush it all down with some Sapporos.
Oh yeah. I think in the Japanese beer game, I'm an Asahi dry guy.
I could see that.
Sapporos are good, but Asahi dry to me is elite.
I had a sake flight with different kinds, and then I was having Sapporo, so I was very festive.
Little did I know about sake is I was thinking hot sake was the move. Hot sake is how they disguise shitty sake is they heat it up. The good sake is the cold sake.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear this?
I was at a restaurant in Vegas and we had a sommelier, like a designated sommelier, and it was a Japanese restaurant. So they tried to push onto the sakes and we're just talking about it. Yeah, we'll get a hot sake. And then that's where we had I
love that.
So that makes a lot of sense because like I said, I got a flight of sakes. I don't know shit about it. So they bring it out and only one of them was warm and I was surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. We think we want warm. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just like, we think that's the cool thing to do. No, get like the colder the sake, the better. Like, and now I have a massive appreciation for cold sake. I have a friend, Mr. Green, who loves sake. He did not know this. So I bought him for his birthday, a good bottle of cold sake. And he's like, I will never go warm again.
Wow. Not true.
I learned something today.
Yeah, definitely not true. But
Tyler, have you ever had sake before?
No.
Tyler tries.
Yeah, well, of course. It involves him having to have sushi as well. It's a full on Tyler tries there.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Warm is good too.
Yeah, warm is
You know what I like about the warm sake? The best feeling.
How long have you been sitting there?
10 minutes.
Oh, welcome, Chalmers.
Yeah. What's up?
The warm sake, the way it feels in your nose when you breathe out after you drink it. It's one of the best feelings.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like it warms you up and it
does warm you up.
The smell, the taste. God, I love warm sake.
When we were in our Japanese village era, Chalmers, we were drinking sake all the time and threatening all the cooks. Good era.
Everywhere. I did not. I did not know that was like cold sake. Like, do you like cold sake better?
I think I do, man. I do.
Like, how cold is it? Like a cold beer?
Yeah, like cold beer temperature. Yeah. It's just nice and chilled. But like you really pull the hot sake, it just tastes like hot alcohol. Like there's no flake, but the cold sake, you can there's flavor.
Hot alcohol.
It's delicious, Tyler.
Yeah, habanero beer. Try it.
I don't think I can talk about that
beer. I tried it. I lived it. Sake though, I'll get a flight of that all day.
Oh yeah. It's good living. With sushi.
Yeah, it was, I just did amazing sushi. And then I did one of those things where I showed up to the restaurant. It was another one of those ones where there was no prices listed on the menu. So I kind of was just like, okay, I'm going to have the tuna. I'm going to have the salmon. I'm going to have some edamame. Like, I was doing the thing.
Yeah.
And now I don't have a mortgage payment, but it was worth it. All day.
Hey, got it. Hey, man, you're on vacation, man.
Yeah, it was great.
You got to splurge. Treat yourself right. It's good.
Chalmers, remember the hot and cold condoms? Do you remember that era?
I don't understand any of that. I don't get it, but
remember the marketing? It was like, try one of each. You'll be crazy good. Damn.
No, I don't. I never tried one.
Remember Crystal Pepsi?
It's back. It's
back.
It is
great.
It's back.
Is my mic on? I don't know.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's back.
I made a TikTok about it. It was great. We're doing Crystal Pepsi.
I'm pretty sure it's just 7-Up, put in a different bottle.
Yeah. Well,
that's what it always tastes like to me.
Caffeinated 7-Up.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they lay claim that it was basically the exact same recipe, just no colorant?
Probably.
Yeah, it was supposed to taste the same. I believe
they changed the name to Clear Pepsi. I think it's Clear. I don't know.
Oh, they've
done it.
Yeah, someone was calling it Clear Pepsi
because there's in fact no crystal in it. Someone sued Pepsi.
Oh wow!
Someone sued Pepsi.
I'm making that up. I have no idea it was.
I'd believe that.
Okay.
Jay, what are you doing with the mic?
I'm trying to extend it because the Baggedmilk's got the one I extended. I'm trying to extend this one. I maybe turned the wrong thing.
Yaremchuk is just losing his shit. Look at his face.
He's not even in studio.
He's not even participating. He's all mad. He's like, can't be the boss of us.
So I don't know if Yaremchuk's going to divulge this, but he told us before the show started that Yaremchuk likes to dine while he drives.
Like this one was weird. I gotta ask you the whole breakdown on it because it doesn't even make sense to me what you ate while you were driving.
Chicken parm. So you got the chicken parm and the pasta side, right? You had the full deal.
So keep in mind. It was last.
Sorry. Let's
set the stage. Yaremchuk's driving, so he's obviously eating.
No, I'm going to go back further.
The menu this time consisted of a chicken parm, but no utensils.
Yes, well, sort of. So Fridays are generally a pretty hectic day for me, and
chicken parm day.
Going about my day, and all of a sudden I look and I'm like, holy shit, it's like 11:55 already. I gotta be at the office in an hour. I haven't eaten yet. Like all this shit. So I quickly go shower, heat up my leftover chicken parm from the night before. Just a whole kind of
chicken and the pasta too.
I keep in mind, this is just one of those like prepackaged ones I got from the grocery store, like not an actual homemade chicken parm. So it's just like the big hunk of chicken.
And no one's going to accuse you of making homemade chicken parm.
I'm aware of that, but just for the whole picture. And then I had some leftover pasta on the side. So I throw it all in the microwave it. I'm like, I got to leave to work now. So I grab a fork,
he hand bombs it while he drives,
grab a fork, start driving, stopped at a red light, couple pasta noodles. Next red light, couple more pasta noodles. And then I'm like, damn, I actually want to eat the chicken part of this, but I have no way to cut it up while it's in this big like Tupperware container while I'm driving. Oh, no. So I just put my fork in it and kind of just held it up, I suppose like a popsicle almost. Yeah, like a lollipop. And I just, at whoever was sending me at the red light on, whatever that would have been, 97.
We gotta decal up your car so people can know it's you and try to get you out caught in the wild.
I think I'm going to get you set up with like wearing a hoodie backwards, right? But then you bring the hood down and you just have a feed bag right there because I feel like what you're doing is unsafe.
It is unsafe. Yeah. Chicken on a fork. People who've been in solitary confinement in a prison for 20 years, and they've been fed through a slot by the same guard for 300 consecutive days. Those are the people who abandon forks. You need to come back to society.
I bet that is very similar to what it looks like, though, is that Tyler's got only 2 seconds at a red light and he's powering it down like a fucking criminal.
Like I respect the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to the office, whatever it was, 15 minutes before showtime. Belly full, ready to roll.
Work smarter, not harder.
It's just impressive what you eat, though. Like I'll have a sandwich. I'll hit, I'll get a handheld. Yeah. Like that, like some, like there's a low likelihood you're going to wear.
Yaremchuk has a full cheese fondue.
He goes full entree.
Well, the cheese is plugged into a cigarette lighter cable, and that keeps the cheese liquid. And then I have a fondue while I'm driving.
Yeah. So you just put the pieces of meat in the oil.
Sometimes I forget the fondue fork, and
I'm going to have a hot, sizzling Korean barbecue on one of them stones while I'm driving. Yeah, it's great. I just swing by the Korean restaurant and they give me the hot stone with the meat, and then I cook it while driving, and I turn my fan on the dash and it blows the warm air away.
It's too bad Pimp My Ride wasn't still a thing because I feel like Tyler would be a prime candidate for the guy who uses the latte
dash
maker
oven
in the background.
Yeah, the dash oven.
An air fryer in your car. That'd be your Pimp My Ride back then.
Oh, it would be the best.
No passenger seat. It's just a convection oven that's right next to me at all times.
I remember one Pimp My Ride where they put a licorice dispenser in the guy's car in between the two seats. They're like, you love the movies. And the whole car was movie themed, and it had a popcorn thing, and it had a licorice dispenser. And I was like, this show needs to stop.
Like, I do like licorice,
but nobody needs a licorice dispenser.
No.
You really had to watch what you said in that show as like what your inspiration was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or else your whole car was going to become that one thing. And you're like, Jesus, I didn't mean to say that.
I have a call of Pimp My Ride producers, but I had to move it because I went to a movie last night. Like, okay, enjoy your licorice dispenser. You sure love movies.
Got a movie theater in his car now.
I just quickly went ahead and Googled worst Pimp My Ride ideas, and I got a countdown of the top 10.
Ooh, I'd like to hear some of these.
So
summer content.
Coming in at number 10 is the flame throwing car. Way back in the first season of Pimp My Ride, Exhibit and company put on flamethrowers to a car. The article adds, which is a totally sane thing to do. And the flames were multicolored, but it was not allowed because that is, quote, super illegal. So they had to de-pimp the hot ride. Number 2 is a van with a hot tub. The screenshots from this are so funny.
Are we counting down or counting up? Is this 10-9?
I have no idea. This is my first time seeing the article.
Hot tub. Yeah. Well, you don't see if there's a number next to the incident.
It started at 1. So I don't know if that was like the worst or like whatever, you know? I'm going to send you guys the screenshot and I'll post this on our socials. I'm
an analytics guy, Yaremchuk. I need to know if I'm counting down or up. The hot tub sounds fantastic.
This is on MTV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Limo hot tub in Vegas.
Does a car have a hot tub in it?
Yeah, like
and the water.
Well, you have to have the proper water level. Yep. So it doesn't.
But also, look how scrunched up the guy is in the photo.
Yeah, he doesn't fit. Yeah.
When we went on our first trip to Vegas, I saw a hot tub limo cruising up and down whatever main strip is in Vegas. I saw it. I remember it still. It was so exciting. It had like a neon blue hot tub. There were people just like, woo! And it was a trailer.
Number 3, a car with a chocolate fountain in the back.
You'd love that.
Well, you need that.
Yeah, that's just delicious.
I feel like an idiot not having that.
Number 4, a truck, but the entire bed of the truck is just a pool table.
So you can play it standing around the truck?
Yeah.
But can you stand around it? Or
that's not bad.
If the entire bed is, I feel like there's the one end where you couldn't make a shot.
That is correct.
Yeah. Near the cab.
Yeah.
You're not making a shot down there.
Unless it's on wheels.
You're talking.
You have to be really good with your leaves.
Yeah. Your bank shots.
I saw a video on YouTube pop up the other day and it was like the all-time best snooker game ever.
It was by Stephen Henley.
I don't know. He's like a British guy.
Yeah.
But, and it was like 78 million views. It's 5 minutes. So I was like, you know what? I don't care about snooker, but I care to see the 78 million view 5-minute best game ever.
Yeah,
the guy ran.
Nobody's making a shot down by the cab here.
Yeah, that is.
I feel like you could lift that table out.
Unless that's like a sliding window there and you can come out from inside the cab.
Yep. That'd be your only option there.
Oh man.
Number 5 is an absolute trip. Sometimes a car gets pimped, but the pimping can't outrun the law. That was the case with this El Camino that managed to get the West Coast Commons upgrade, but was later revealed to be stolen. Sure, the car got some TV screens and a new engine, but what good was it all when it gets taken right back?
Oh, so the owner, the original, he must be happy. Came back pimped.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, someone took my El Camino, and you're like watching Pimp My Ride one day and you're doing like the Leonardo DiCaprio thing where you're like, hey, it's my car.
It sounds to me like an inside job. Like Exhibit bought an old car and reported it stolen and got it back pimped out. Was like, oh yeah. 2 times, because that's how he talks.
So number 6, I'll send to you guys as well. I'm going to post all these. It's a Cadillac with a coffin, but then they converted the coffin into a grill.
Do a grill? Like a teeth grill?
No, the front of the car grill.
No, like a barbecue.
Oh.
A+ for creativity.
Oh,
you can park that next to the pool table.
It looks like if you've seen those RVs that you park and then you open the one side and you've got like a TV, a barbecue, like a fridge and stuff. That's what this coffin rolled out looks like.
Huh. Deadly.
If I was going to make you a Pimp My Ride car, Chalmers, it'd be a huge rye distillery that just drives around, and anywhere you want, you could just rip a quick dram off and hand it out to people
or just like one of the guns and just spits them out perfectly mixed rye and Coke.
Perfectly mixed rye and Coke with an ice machine in it.
Yeah, with a 7-Eleven pizza oven.
Chalmers, if you had to pick one thing to pimp your ride with, what would it be?
A Slurpee machine.
Oh yeah,
that'd be good.
That would be good.
I was crushing Slurpees last week.
Coke Slurpee, right?
Yeah, Coke, Dr. Pepper, root beer,
or anything brown. That's a good rule for Slurpees.
Yeah, big fan of the brown Slurpees.
Yep.
Yeah, if it's brown, flush it down.
Also true.
I would want mine to be like a Shaggin' Wagon Baggedmilk, and half of it is red and half of it's blue, and then it dispenses hot and cold condoms.
Oh, of course.
Anyways.
I'd have a gyoza dispenser.
Oh, baller.
Yeah.
A buttered chicken, little buttered chicken spigot.
Yeah, that'd be delicious.
Buttered chicken. Load yourself into this van with your OnlyFans streaming.
It's going to need the coffin. Yeah, quickly.
Hit the open road, see how long the money lasts.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
Don't you have a dream to go in a van and do a van content? So man versus wild.
I'm currently in the market for a sleeper van.
Interesting.
Yeah. I really want one.
Oh man, I want a motorhome so bad.
I really want a sleeper van where I can just cruise for a couple of weeks and park like old school stuff.
Yeah, just live off the land, man.
If you watch 10 prepper videos where they're converting buses into beautiful apartments, I challenge you to watch 10 and not be like, maybe I should convert a van into an old apartment. I saw this one guy. He's just like, I think the world's gone crazy. So I just converted this van. And everywhere I went, people wanted it. So I would just sell it and then start a new one.
Yeah.
And he took like a FedEx van.
Yeah.
And he double reinforced the door from the like cab of the truck. And from the outside, it looks like exactly like an old FedEx van. Like if you walk past this every day for a year, you'd be like, no one lives there. You open the reinforced door and it looks like a 4-star hotel. It has a hardwood floor. It has like recessed things. It has a huge flat screen. He's a gamer. He's got a 90,000 inch TV. He's got a mezzanine with a bed in it, like a full ass bed.
That's good living.
I thought of you when I saw that.
Well,
like you could have like a Steve Dangle-esque wall set and people are like, Baggedmilk must be in an office somewhere. In fact, you're in a FedEx truck parked a foot away from them.
Yeah, I'm currently not to that level, but I'm currently looking for a sleeper van. I would just be the best.
Do it.
Yeah,
Zombie apocalypse. You could be in the middle of Negan's fortress in that FedEx truck. They couldn't get in.
Yeah, I'm down. That's exactly what I want. I want that. And I really want a scooter. I've decided.
Oh, buddy. I put an email in April for a Vespa.
Oh, nice. We're going to
Baggedmilk.
They haven't reached back.
My brother's a pilot for Air Canada and he lives in Calgary, but he flies out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so he bought a sleeper van and like completely gutted it and like made this beautiful, like, living area. It's got like a sink and like you can take an attachment for a shower. It's got a bed and he parks it, which a bunch of other pilots do too, in a parking lot in the airport in Vancouver. So that when he flies in,
and they bank that per diem.
Huh.
Yeah, bank that per diem.
Smart.
He's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be great in like the off season. Say it's August and there's nothing going on to just fuck off for a month and right from the road, I could hotspot from my phone and do everything and just blog.
What if that had a Starlink in it and like
Starlink,
like one of these and like a podcast studio in it?
Yeah.
And you just never needed to like stop and you could just drive around.
Well, even the podcast stuff I have at my house, it wouldn't really take much power to get it going.
You open the door and you're in Brazil.
Yeah.
What up, doll?
Campervan.
So I was wondering about the Slurpee machine, how much power it would take because it's doable.
Of course it is. Anything's doable.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. A lot of positivity coming through in this episode.
100%. Anything is possible.
Kevin Garnett said that.
Did we find out what the number one worst Pimp My Ride was?
Yeah, I think I read the list in the wrong order because they all got pretty average by the end. So it was like a truck with the Sistine Chapel painted on the ceiling, or like that painting.
What?
The disco minivan, the car
minivan?
That sounds fun.
Oh yeah,
the car that farts pink exhaust, the Land Cruiser turned yoga studio. Don't even know how the fuck that works. The car with yellow shag carpeting and the car with the chandelier.
Like in Escape from New York. Remember how the bad guy had chandeliers on the hood of his car?
Oh, yeah.
To indicate his wealth. Ever seen the movie Escape from New York, Baggedmilk? Kurt Russell?
I've seen Escape from LA, but not Escape from New York.
That's right. I think it was, I can't remember which was first. I think
Escape from New York was first. Yeah, I saw the sequel only.
The island is the prison, you see. But I can't remember all of the details, but there's like a school bus and a limo. And that's the 2-car cavalcade of the super Bond villain guy. And the one has chandeliers on the hood.
I like that.
It's fly.
Are you getting a scooter?
So I put in an email to a local dealership.
Yeah.
They said the ones I'm looking for in particular are coming in stock at the end of the month, which would have been the end of April, maybe the end of May. And they've not reached out to me.
Now, Jay, as a man who holds...
I got to sell that.
What? Just, you know... Jay has an unbelievable Harley Davidson. Like it is sick. It's sick.
It's all. It's
when you drive it, people who know motorcycles go, hey, stop, talk to me. How did this happen? Now, I'm not saying a Vespa's not cool. I'm just wondering on behalf of the motorcycle, what's wrong with us? Because we are cool and you never drive us.
I gotta sell it.
Why? It's so cool.
I know, but it's I thought I wanted to be a Harley guy, and I do enjoy riding it, but I had no one to ride with, and it's
clean it up and put it in like a home office or something, or like
it could be like it could be an art piece.
It'll never go down in value. You're not putting K.
No, definitely not. It still has its Sasky plate on it.
Sick.
I rode with a Sasky plate.
How long ago did you have this? I didn't even know you had your motorcycle license.
I technically have it. I just haven't ridden it probably in 5 years.
I'll tell the story, Yaremchuk. We're sitting there one day. Jay's like, "Hey, we got to go to the job. I'm getting a Harley." And I was like, "Wow, how are we getting it back?" And he's like, "I'm driving it back." And I was like, "Have you ever ridden a motorcycle on the highway before?" And he's like, "Spare me the details." So then we came back and I was like his staff vehicle driving behind him with the hazards on and shit. I think you had like 7 years worth of motorcycle riding in one trip.
Yeah.
And you're still like earning back your time spent.
Well, yeah, my family in Moose Jaw are just like, it was my cousin's bike, and my family from Moose Jaw called me and they're like, so you're taking Mike's Harley. And I'm like, I am. And they're like, yes.
Passing of the torch.
Because they're all Harley people. So I said, okay, fine. So yeah, I took a motorcycle course so I can get my license. And then we drove down to Moose Jaw and I rode back.
It was impressive. It was windy as balls too.
Oh. Sounds like it'd be a great miniseries on Netflix.
You're kind of like Ewan McGregor.
Motorcycle Diaries?
Yeah.
I should take that thing to the tip of Argentina.
You should take it back to the Jaw and lend it back to the fam. So when you're there, you have a bike to go on the rides with. And when you're not there, they can ride it and relive the past.
So it's a Harley Sportster, and it's got ape hanger handlebars, and it's not designed for it's like, yes, you take it on the highway, but I'm not a hardo. Like taking that thing on the highway is intense because you are just a giant sail in that thing. It's not designed to cut through the wind.
Sometimes I'll be in the garage, doing things and have the door open and someone's walking down the alley. And this has happened to me, I think, thrice, where they'll be like, "Oh, hey, nice bike." And rather than being like, "It's not mine," I'm like, "It's mine." Like, really? Did you take it for rides? I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
You should ask them if they want to buy it.
No, fuck that shit. I think this thing is cool. I think you should put it up on like a mount. Just have it around.
You know how heavy that thing is?
That's right. Like I've seen, if you go look at what people do with motorcycles to have them as
I don't have right now the space to put it in an office type scenario.
In the lobby of the Upperville block. Be like, there it is. This is like a Hard Rock cafe now. There's a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. I will pick it up though at some point.
I like the conversation starter because then the neighbors are like, "Oh, you have a motorcycle. You know about motorcycles." I'm like, "Indeed, I do." And then they ask a follow-up question. I'm always like, "Oh, I don't. I'm over my head." They're like, "What's the 4-stroke 2020 on the 3 ones on that thing?" And I'm like, "It has 2 tires, if you're wondering, and ape hangers, and the sides are flames. That's the coolest part. Sides are flames, man.
It's flames. Yeah. No, it's good.
Oh, it's safe. Don't worry. It's within the confines of Wanye Manor.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I was pretty committed. I guess I'm obviously not that committed because I'm not hounding them to do it, but I'm interested. Also, because the main reason I'm keen on getting a scooter. So when I do get a motorhome,
you just pop that baby,
pop that thing in there, and there's your transportation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lifetime acquisition. The Harley you couldn't get.
No.
That thing's probably 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that once. They said, "How many pounds does that thing weigh?" And I was like, "Shit, more than you can count, bitch."
I still regret early pandemic. We're talking April 2020. I was drunk at home, as you tend to do. I was walking around my neighborhood with the dog, and I almost bought an old man's Vespa for $1,800, and I regret it now because that would have been a steal of a deal. It was seafoam green. I still can picture it.
Keep your eyes open. At the end of the summer, man, there's gonna be a lot of people who are like, "I got to shed some financial weight here when I sell."
Winter acquisition next summer, Vespa season.
Oh, Vespa season! I'll get the scarves. I'll get the helmet. And I'll do the whole thing.
I gotta go. Thing is, I need to get the big one. I gotta get the 300 because I'm 220 pounds.
Yeah.
And if I'm on a 100 or 150, that we're not going that fast.
There's some issues there.
Remember when there was the Vespa dealership near Woodwork?
Yeah.
I remember going in there and they're like, "We're putting a bar in here." Hey, I'm like, "You're putting in a bar in a motor vehicle sales location?" And they're like, "It's going to be like a whole scene." Remember that?
Yeah.
They're like, "This is going to be awesome." And then never came to be. Too bad. There was really a burgeoning Vespa scene there for a moment until they realized there's about a 10-week window.
Yeah. Well, and that's ultimately if I got to pick one, I'm leaning campervan because I can campervan
first, 100%.
Yeah, I can campervan whenever.
You take 2 drug packages to Nova Scotia in the camper van. And
The 2 and done.
your Vespa.
2 and done. Yeah,
2 and done.
Then you get the Vespa.
Yeah, exactly.
You could build some sort of like vacuum sealed coffin type thing into a camper van and lay the carpet down, and you could get away with Moida.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main reasons why I want a motorhome is obviously just to just make the world your office and your your backyard. But also for those of you who like to go skiing and go skiing at Jasper, their parking situation.
Yeah.
Right. You park in lot 1, 2, 3. The cool parking lot is lot 4.
Lot 4, you're there all day.
Oh man, you got an RV, you pull up, you can set up a zone.
You'll have a great zone up there.
Oh,
because you can set up a great zone just with like a Coleman grill and everything. But if you got a motorhome up there,
exactly. Because everything's already, it just sets up. You can have a nice outdoor lounge. You can sit inside. You can
Nice touch.
It is. I
drive all the way home from the hill either to start your après ski.
Well, yeah, like my girlfriend's dad's huge skier. Like he gets like 100 ski days in a season. He's nuts. And most of the time, because he goes so much, he camps.
Yeah, might as well.
But I guess the campgrounds, like this campgrounds are open year round. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I would do a camping ski trip.
That'd be great.
It's not that different if you're on a ski trip to have like your proper RV than a hotel room. It's probably better in many.
Oh yeah. The only thing you're missing is you don't have a hot tub, but as we learned from Big Mike, you can get a portable hot tub.
In my ride truck, man. I'm telling you, it's not as stupid as it looks in that photo.
No, it is.
Portable hot tub. Yeah.
That'd be wicked.
That'd be the best.
Because like what you do after skiing, like I come like sure, like when I was younger, I'd go out.
Portable hot tub, you'd be like a Bills fan tailgating. Level of preparedness.
Oh, and that's the thing. We can do a road trip and tailgate like a motherfucker with that thing.
You should make it a Nation RV, put a sticker on it and charge the company advertising.
Well, we've tried to have a few conversations around that, but the issue right now is that RVs are selling like hotcakes. So I respectfully understand the willingness to want to wait on that.
Just if you bought one, you should wrap it and charge the company a marketing fee, and then we can take it to shit.
Yeah, no, that was also
get a Vantage. Oh, imagine you got an old Vantage.
Dust off a Vantage. Yeah, you need a Vantage.
You should get a Vantage.
I want to look at what this says. A Vantage.
Our buddies are
my brothers is a Vantage.
Is it?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, one of these. Absolutely.
Our best buddies that build these tables build Vantage.
Yeah, one of our best buddies' dad started the company Vantage, and he built all these. Like they would buy these Econolines, and they would basically like put the Vantage package on it, which is all reclining custom seats, like coolers underneath the seat.
Windowless vans aren't just for kidnapping Baggedmilk. They're also for pleasure.
Yeah. There's good living in there. Panel van?
They're expensive these days. If you find like an old, like pristine custom Vantage, they are expensive.
Yeah.
More expensive than putting a coffin grill in your van?
Oh, probably not.
You need exhibit money to do that.
I got to tell you my moose jaw story, Jay.
Oh, yes.
I said to Jay before the podcast, our 12 listeners, I said, hey, remind me about the moose jaw story so I don't forget. And he goes, yeah, totally. And then I forgot, and then I remembered. A guy came to hose down Wanye Manor today. This is what you have to do when you have a manor. The difference between a house and a manor. Manor has upkeep. You always got somebody there hosing things down. I'm standing outside. I'm pulling weeds. A guy walks up and tries to sell something to me. I'd say your success rate is 0.00001% selling me something at the house. However, this guy had a Moose Jaw Warriors piece of equipment or a hat on. Nice. I was like, what's up with that Warriors hat? He's like, oh, I used to be a warrior. I'm like, what are you selling?
Wow.
House bathing services. Give me 1 unit, I said. This is how we transacted our business. So today there's a knock at the front door and I'm like, who the fuck has the balls to knock on my door? I go to the door in a rage and it's my boy. And I say, oh, today's the house bathing day. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, do your thing. So I'm out there talking to him. I'm like, when did you play for the Jaw? And he broke it down for, I think it was like 2016 to like 2019.
Who would have played Noah Gregor?
Oh, I didn't line it up. Now, yeah, you're right. Now he's going to McEwen. This guy. Anyways, we're chatting and I'm like, what was it like in the Jaw? Like, how was everything with like the organization and like the team and everything like that? And he's like, oh, great. Love the Jaw. And I'm like, what was it like playing in the non-crushed can? He didn't even remember the crushed can. He's too young.
Yeah, he would not have played in it.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, the arena could use some parking and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, yeah. And he goes, and then there was the time with the Dolly Parton incident. And I was like, there was an incident with Dolly Parton. He's like, you never heard what happened with Dolly Parton? I'm like, no. He's like, one time they brought in a Dolly Parton impersonator solo to play at the arena, but marketed it as though it was Dolly Parton.
Oh my God.
And all these people from Moose Jaw and surrounding area were like, what? Dolly's coming to town? Look at the ad. Dolly. And they went to the show to find out it was an impersonator. And this guy said, because they were there like in the arena, and he was like, there were people that were like, what the fuck is this? I thought I was going to a Dolly Parton concert, and it's a Dolly Parton impersonator. And he's like, we just couldn't live that down for like the rest of the year. Like, what a fiasco. And I'm like, what a circus. That is hilarious.
That is insane.
Oh, God.
Dolly's coming to the Jaw. Damn.
Fake Dolly.
Who
Fake
went
Dolly.
to the Jaw when the arena first opened? They had a string of really good shows.
Oh, they actually get good acts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure Motley Crue's played there.
So it's not like unreasonable to think that it could be Dolly Parton, but it just didn't.
Yeah. Like
Who knows?
Dolly Parton opened Rogers' place.
Yeah.
She did?
Yeah.
Drake.
No, it was Dolly. Yeah.
Hey, you would have won that episode of Jeopardy.
She was the first. So like she's a big deal.
But if you're in Moose Jaw and you just got a new Crush can and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I could see it.
Oh, 100%.
Follow-up questions. If I was like skeptical, the actual act was right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember Dolly being spelled Dolli Parton.
Yeah.
That should have been an.
It was Dolly
So
Parton.
is people just like very like confused or stupid or how?
Whoa.
I don't call Moose Javians confused or stupid. They were lied to.
Yes, they were deceived.
Like stupid.
They were deceived.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they would have marketed that concert in Moose Jaw. Probably
Dolly Parton and Moose Jaw, the real one.
the front marquee. They're like, here's the real one. For real. Damn.
That reminds me of a tweet I saw the other day where this guy was at like a crypto convention and he was media, like he was covering it. And he was like, oh, I quickly look and I see Snoop Dogg with his entourage walking towards me. So I quickly ran up, grabbed one of his handlers and was like, hey, could I just grab a quick 2-minute interview with Snoop about like why he's here and how he's invested? And the handler just goes, hey, this isn't Snoop. This is just a lookalike. They brought him here to create buzz. We legally can't say Snoop Dogg's here. So that got me thinking.
Awesome.
Who could we get to start showing up to nation events?
Fake Wayne Gretzky?
Like just fake people who look kind of similar and we'll just like hide them in the back corner.
There's a Snoop Dogg impersonator that Snoop like shouts out that makes a living impersonating Snoop.
Must be
There's
this
also
guy.
fake Drake.
Oh,
Freak?
wow.
Fake Drake got the heart shaved into his head and started going around to bars, like looking and talking exactly like Drake. And then went on the No Jumper podcast and was like, yeah, this has pretty much been my look my entire life. I don't know why people think I'm trying to be Drake. And the guy's like, really? You just happen to have a heart shaved in your hair like Drake. He's like, yeah, I've been running this for like a year. Fake Drake.
So the guy you would have seen, Tyler, or that would have been impersonating Snoop, is Eric Finch.
There it is.
That is the official Snoop lookalike.
Snoop sends him to shit and he makes appearances and he gets a cut from it, man.
Is he the one on the left?
Yeah.
He looks like older Snoop.
He's just like the older
He's looked
Snoop
like him
Dogg.
his whole life.
Wild time.
And Snoop gets a cut of his appearances.
Oh, that's genius.
That's the best.
And
That's the hardest dollar in the business playbook to get.
The impersonation dollar?
Fake. And yeah, like you have to be so famous that there can be an impersonator booking fee.
Man, he's a dead ringer.
so fake Drake goes by the name, instead of Drizzy Drake, he calls himself Izzy Drake.
Yeah.
They get it? Like Izzy.
Yeah.
And he does fake shows and charges $5,000 US per show.
Wow.
And people clown him. They're like, get out of here, fake Drake. The club's like, yeah.
And he's like, I'll take your 5 Gs. Clown away.
Can you imagine if we were throwing a nation party to kick off next season? We're like, Snoop's going to be there. We don't say Snoop Dogg. We just say Snoop. And then it's just that guy.
I saw a Snoop Dogg dog pound video that got released the other day on YouTube, and it clearly said Snoop Dogg in the video, and Snoop was not in the video. It was just the dog pound, who are quite almost elderly now. It's very strange to see.
Mm-hmm.
I got tricked, and Snoop's like, "I got your ad view, bitch."
You guys talked about it last week. Did you talk about Drake's new album?
Didn't talk about it.
I said it. Yeah, I said I'm not that into it.
It's very, it reminds me of being in a Volvo dealership.
Mm-hmm. It just, I'm a rap hip hop fan, and that's not rap or hip hop. That's like dancey kind of whatever music.
Dance hall stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just not super into it. I like Sticky, and I like the one, Jimmy's Cooking or whatever.
That's
Jimmy
funny. You get that title?
I do. Yes. Okay. I like both of those, but the rest of it's just like, I get what he's trying to do, but I'm not into it.
Didn't it remind you, Wanye, of being in Southeast Asia? Like
enjoy it.
Pizza restaurant there's music like that.
Delicious. It's a good time. I really enjoy the song Massive. That song's great.
I think I've heard that one on TikTok going around a little bit, actually.
It was funky.
There's one Drake song going around right now.
You were talking about scooters earlier, so I quickly Googled if our friends at Alfa Romeo sell scooters, and I don't believe they do, but that doesn't mean they don't make quality.
It would be fast and luxurious.
Oh yes, it would be, because that's what our friends at Alfa Romeo of Edmonton are all about, our official luxury car partner. Also, Cattail Crossing. That ties in to the fact that the Oilersnation Open is back at Cattail Crossing. I'm excited for this. You can bid and potentially golf with us. We started the bidding at $500 this year. And Cody Chambers said, I ain't messing around. He went right up to 600. And then we got a monster bid just a couple of days later from Ryan Dennis.
Pablo Escobar.
Ryan Dennis went all the way up to $800.
Holy cow.
So I sent that out at, I have like an email list of everyone who's bid so far, right? Because we're up to 800 now. And I blast out whenever there's a new bid so people have the chance to respond. Cody Chambers immediately responded to that and was up at 850. So the bid is now at 850. You get a round of golf, obviously, in the Oilersnation Open with myself, Jay, and Chalmers. We'll have a good time. You get in after. There's a ton of prizes. You're eligible for all the same prizes anyone else is that's in the tournament. You get your dinner afterwards as well. Or lunch, I suppose, because we're teeing off earlier this year. It's going to be a great time if you have a group of 4, let's say, and you want to get in on the Oilersnation Open. $1,000 for a foursome. It's up now at nationgear.ca, and it all goes to support Gregor's Grads, which means you get to see Gregor cry at the end of the night.
He gets to give people who need formal attire for their graduation, their attire.
Yep.
But more importantly, you get to see Gregor cry.
Oh, and it's like,
I shouldn't say that. It's not more important. More important, we help these kids.
Yeah.
But they get joy in knowing that Gregor cried to do it.
And it's like clockwork too.
Oh, it's automatic. Like he basically says a different version of the same speech every year. And you know, right at where the clicking point, or right when he gets into the testimonial, it's just immediate choke up. It's awesome.
It is the best.
Gregor is deep down a huge softie in a good way.
Don't let that earring fool you, even though he doesn't have the earring anymore. We also have.
Join us. It's be good. We have. If I'm going to guess how many spots we have left, we're probably in the single digits. We're probably between 7 to 9 spots left in the tournament.
Wow,
which is exciting.
We also have spots open on our nation vacation to Toronto, August 12th till 15th. Head over nationgear.ca. We leave Edmonton August 12th, 6:30 in the morning, baby. We get to Toronto just after noon Eastern time. You know what time that is? Prime beer drinking season. We get to the hotel, freshen up. Boom. We head to the Pint in Toronto where we have beverage specials for you. The game is at 7 o'clock Eastern. You'll be properly lubricated if you so choose. We enjoy the baseball game on the 12th. On the 13th, we go watch Toronto FC. We're going to experience the MLS a little bit. On the 14th, pregame brunch at Pint Toronto, food and drink specials as well. Baseball game, 1:30 Eastern. We enjoy that. We enjoy our night. On the 15th, we get picked up at the hotel, brought back to the airport. We depart Toronto at 1 o'clock Eastern, and we are back in Edmonton by the end of the workday. You barely have to take any time off work at all. It's the perfect crime. 3 sporting events. 3 sporting events over 3 days. You can get in on this at nationgear.ca. $13.99 for double occupancy. I believe that price goes down a little bit if you add a third person to your room as well.
We're cramming a 4th. Let's go.
Why not?
Get cozy.
Yep. Baggedmilk and I will let you sleep in our room. I'm just kidding. I don't even know if Baggedmilk and I are rooming together.
You can sleep with Yaremchuk. I mean, the whole way. I'm his pimp.
$1,200. That's reasonable.
Upgrade.
I was at
expectations.
I had a hell of a weekend this weekend. I went to the Riverhawks game on Saturday.
I saw you had a bat of beer, and I want one so.
And
bad.
I got the bats of beer. Like they were they sell fast. We had to hunt them down, but I got a bat of beer. It was great. They kept drinking out of it.
Have they solved it? Are they having good times there? Have they done a good job?
Oh, the service is great. Yeah, no, it's it's solid. They still like, there's obviously like infrastructure of just the stadium itself, like, cause they're getting good attendance. So upstairs, like but you know what? They've come a long way since the first game I went to, because it's like they're getting really good attendance. So they just have to, they tweeted out after that first time, like, oh, like we're just figuring this out. Sorry. And then I went the next time and like everything was moving fast. They had more kiosks open. Like they're committed to make sure.
A crowd at a baseball game, to be fair to them.
But they're drawing really well, which is
retool completely.
100%, which is so good to see. They're drawing so well. And the baseball is great. But I wore my Ohtani jersey as well. I was getting so much respect from the kids.
Oh, you just, of course,
so many nice jerseys. And I'm like, yeah, because I know what's up, man. I'm an Ohtani boy.
And they don't even know how you got it. They don't even know.
They don't even know. Once I tell them, they'll put that 100 Thieves shirt you're wearing. It's a shame.
Okay. Surprised you know 100 Thieves.
We only needed 3.
Yeah, we only needed 3.
There's only 3 of us on that mission.
Ocean's 11 moment.
Yeah, it was great. Ocean's 3. Ohtani 3.
Ohtani 3.
But this weekend was the Pets in the Park.
Yes.
Edmonton Humane Society event hosted by one Aaron Chalmers.
Oh.
Brand ambassador for Edmonton Humane Society, Caroline Zved.
And Hot Dog.
And Oodle Noodle sponsored the Dash Hound race, and Oilers Nation sponsored the beer gardens.
And how did Hot Dog do in his Dash Hound race?
Oh man,
so political.
You know, it's not political. So there was 8 heats of 6 dogs a heat. There was 48 Dash Hounds. What? And there was probably 50 Dash Hounds in attendance to cheer on all the other Dash Hounds. It was insane. It was like the marquee event. It had the whole little course was just surrounded with people, because it's so funny to watch these little buggers run across, because some people because Dash Hounds are very stubborn and interesting breed, but Hot Dog is, so like I already gave the backstory. He's the runt of his litter. He's used to being pushed. Like when I went to go pick him up, we went to the breeder's house and we go into the kitchen, and there's all these red Dash Hounds, like reddish brown. And then there's Hot Dog, who's a black and tan. And so obviously we knew which one Hot Dog was. And when we came in there, all these little red ones just like jumped over each other to get to us first. And they all just pushed Hot Dog out. Oh. He was a runt and not as assertive as the other guys. So race starts, or we get to the race, we get to our heat. We're in the 8th heat. And so it's Caroline and Mike kind of hosting the race, which was kind of cool. So we get set up, and the plan was like, okay, I'll be the one that releases Hot Dog, because he'll run to his mom, because Dash Hound's imprint on just one of its parents, and it chose Eva. And so we lured him with, like, the whole thing was, here's some treats. Now watch mom as she walks to the finish line with more treats. Go run and get those treats. Hot Dog, I like, all the other dogs are like just itching to go. Hot Dog didn't want to, like, I had my hands off before, and he didn't want to leave. But magically the race starts and he goes. Hot Dog was like tied for the lead.
Oh, wow.
But then as he got closer to his mom, he started putting on the brakes, and then let the dog with the yellow handkerchief cut him off. Let him cut him off. Like, oh, sorry, go ahead. And then went from a position of finishing potentially second to third. And you needed to finish second to move to the semifinals. So Hot Dog finished third in his heat. It was adorable as hell. I've never seen so many Dash Hounds in my life. It was a super fun event, and it was hot.
If I could, I'd like to say, do you think that Eva being that close to the line had anything to play with it?
Yes. Thank you, Chalmers. I just saw that video that Kennedy posted. She wasn't on like the spot. There's a designated spot that's a little bit further from the finish line. She was close. So kind of Hot Dog didn't have a choice but to slow down. She was further back. I know. I just noticed that. We're gonna have a discussion. We're gonna come back better next year. Thank you for noticing that, Chalmers. I was also upset at Hot Dog for letting himself get cut off. So he's got to learn how to run with his elbows up. He's got to want a little more. Maybe we got to take him there a little bit more hungry, so he wants those treats. A lot of things.
For a first race, I thought he showed a lot of promise. But yeah, they're, this is a learning race, right?
And he's one of the smaller dash hounds. He's got the shorter legs. So the one that won, this is the thing, controversy. This thing was a half-breed dachshund. It was half Jack Russell Terrier, half dachshund. His legs were so long.
So it was political.
Wow. Yeah, this was like East Germany or East German swimmers in the Olympics.
Okay.
All just hyped up with everything in them.
Mm-hmm.
It was very political. But anyways, it's still a fun event. Doesn't matter. It's all good.
Coming back from my vacay, I thought that my dog wasn't going to want to come home with me. I dropped him off at my dad's house. He lives at, like probably a quarter acre, half acre, and just kind of, so I was just like, so Frank's recall is still a work in progress. Keep him leashed, please. So I bought him one of those long extender leashes that he could just stake into the ground and Frank could cruise. So when I pull up to go get Frank, upon my arrival, he is not leashed. He is just living his best life, cruising around anywhere he wants to go. And then he has to come back with me to a townhouse. That's not a happy dog right now. He was free.
He was free.
He thought he was free.
Yeah, he thought he was free, living his life.
He got that sweet taste and I ruined it by coming home.
You can always take him back.
Yep.
You both had a little bit of freedom.
We did. We did.
We need to wrap up with a little bit of hockey talk, brought to you by our friends at Oodle Noodle and DoorDash, sponsored the Dachshund Race. Fantastic. Also, DoorDash, promo code RealLifeDD gets you 25% off and no delivery fees on your first order.
Ding dong.
Indeed, Liam. Ding dong. The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup tonight. Shout out to our boy, Andrew Cogliano.
Sure.
Do you want to, Tyler?
Did you just say that they won the Stanley Cup tonight?
Yeah, they did. Tyler, I feel like you would appreciate this. I said I wasn't watching any.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that Colorado won last night until this morning.
Hey, good for you.
Wow.
Really unplugging on the vacay. I respect that.
I did. Zero idea.
I still get a lot of pleasure out of watching any team win the Stanley Cup and the celebration and all that stuff. I just love it. It's a great moment.
Nathan McKinnon celebrated with a Perrier water.
Nathan McKinnon celebrated by
statement. He made that statement that he's been to drunk at Sidney Crosby's parties. So the drunkest guy at Sidney Crosby's parties. So he expects Sid to be the drunkest in his.
That was a great line.
Don't kid yourself. Sid low-key parties. He's just very discreet.
Yeah.
That guy keeps his personal life private.
Oh, he keeps it
I
tight.
don't think he has any social media or anything. No,
doesn't he have the official one?
For ads and whatnot.
Yeah, he keeps it locked down, which is good because that allows him to kind of just live his life.
Cole Harbor is going to be bumping.
Cole Harbor is on fire. If you go there with your kids to be aspiring athletes, get them to drink as much of the water as they can.
Mm-hmm.
There's something or whatever. Hit the Tim Hortons drive-through in Cole Harbor. There's something in the Timbits.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Patrick Maroon. His Stanley Cup streak has come to an end at 3.
Oh, I also have to apologize to Jay on his heart strategy.
Oh man, it's such bullshit.
I saw that when I was away, and I was just like, Austin Matthews wins the heart, and the first thing I thought of was your betting strategy.
Man, it's such bullshit. And I'm not even being biased that it should be McDavid, even though the definition of the heart is most valuable to your team.
How about his bananas that Connor still led the playoffs in points despite not playing for almost 3 weeks?
And Leon was still number 2.
Wild.
Mike Smith had the most shutouts in the playoffs.
Shout out to Mike Smith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 shutouts.
The fact that 97 and 29 are still up there is just absolutely insane. I am putting every bit of money I can afford on Connor McDavid to win the Hart Trophy next year, by the way. Whatever he opens up at, it will be criminally underpriced. I think the hype of him after this playoff run and what he did, combined with the lack of voter fatigue that there will be next season, combined with how hungry I think Connor will be to have another good regular season, and Woodcroft is still here. I think McDavid is a stone cold mortal lock to win MVP next season.
I will back you up. I need to get my my Matthews money back. So I'm going to definitely load up on that.
That was one of the only things I saw, but man, I was pumped when I saw it. I was having a celebratory midday cocktail when I saw Woody's extension. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very good for him.
I was happy about that.
Yeah, he's worked hard for it.
3 years
delivered in a short sample size, but still.
Yeah.
Well, he had a test drive and he crushed it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We love Woody.
Very, very good. What else did I have in here? I think that was kind of everything. Off-season mode starts now for the Oilers. So it'll be an interesting couple of weeks here. We're 10, 11 days away from the NHL draft. That'll be exciting. Oilers pick 29. I'm going to go ahead and say I doubt they pick 29th.
They're going to trade.
I think they're going to move down at the least. Like they'll move down to like 35 and get pick 70 with it.
Well, yeah, because they go 1 and then nothing until the 5th round. So I can see that too.
Yeah, I think they're going to trade down, or my other theory is they get a second rounder for Barry and then they move their first rounder for a roster player.
Is that our most likely trade draft? I guess trade is Barry for a pick.
Barry for a second rounder. Yep. That's just my theory on it. And I know some people say like, oh, you got to get a roster player back for him, but like you don't need a roster player. You need $4.5 million in cap space, and Barry's the easiest way to do that. So I would definitely be offloading Barry for a second and then using that saved money to make sure you can complement both this forward group and go sign a goalie. And who's
the most likely? Where's the most likely destination for Barry?
Seattle.
Where are we getting our second from?
Seattle. I wrote an article about this at the site last week. And I do think it's Seattle is number 1 as the most likely, with honorable mentions to the Habs, Islanders, and also the Hurricanes if they lose Tony DeAngelo. Sleeper team is the Penguins if they lose Chris Letang.
I don't think they will. I think those three will stay together for some reason.
I think they kind of will too. Although I wouldn't be stunned if Malkin went to Washington. That's my chaos theory. I think I've said it on a few shows.
Just getting older and older.
No more Backstrom though, right? Like you got to fill that.
I know that's a huge people don't realize how important Backstrom is to that team. Yeah. He is the team.
And
he's the trigger man.
While I'm doing off-season predictions, I also think that the Oilers starting goaltender for next season won the Stanley Cup last night. I think it's going to be Darcy Kemper.
That's bold.
Oh man,
that's going to be
he's going to want like 6 schmil. Isn't he going to want a lot?
He might want a lot. I don't think he's going to get a lot. I think Colorado's already moved on from him. They're not going to bring him back. And I'm just not sure how many teams out there are going to be how many contenders out there are going to be tripping over themselves to go sign him.
Who would you rather, Husso or Kemper?
I mean, that's really subjective to the dollar amounts. Like if it was 5x5 for each guy. Actually, I don't know who I would take if it was 5x5 for each guy.
Husso, because Kemper gets hurt.
He does, but Husso's not proven. He's had one good year. What if he's Chris Driedger, or I know Chris Driedger wasn't terrible, but like, what if he's Scott Darling?
Ooh. What can you say, just to play devil's advocate with you, Tyler? Can you say the same thing about Igor Shesterkin? Like he was unproven before this year.
Yeah, but he was also 22 or 23 in doing it. Like I don't know. I just worry that it was 1 year where Husso was just unreal, lights out. He was not good in the playoffs. If there was $1 million difference, so if it was like 5x5 for Kemper or 4x4 for Husso, I'd take Husso in that scenario and save the money. But I think him and Kemper are really close. I think a healthy Darcy Kemper is like without a doubt a top 10 goalie in the NHL. And I'm
well documented, not healthy.
I know.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's fair. But like his injuries this year, like the stick 30s, in the eye was so random.
But he's in his 30s now. But he was hurt in the regular season.
He was, yeah. That's fair.
And he let in some weird ones in the offseason or in the postseason.
I think he had like some of the worst numbers for a playoff winning goalie.
Is that true?
Kemper?
I'm not sure.
I think Frank mentioned it on the rundown.
They definitely the Avs didn't get great goaltending from him.
They didn't need it though. They had so much other horsepower.
And maybe that's the lesson. Maybe that's the lesson the Oilers learned. The NHL is a copycat league. Maybe they'll just look at Colorado and be like, oh, if you just build a super high power team, who gives a shit about your goalie? Which I don't think that's a great lesson to take, but.
Well, we need more high power. We need more high power in our blue line. We don't have it.
And you're not getting it. Unless Broberg or Bouchard really takes a step forward, there's not just a defenseman sitting out there you can go get.
Chychrun.
They're not getting Jacob Chychrun.
Says you. Who thinks we're getting Darcy Kemper? We should go for Chychrun.
They should, but they won't. And I think there's also an element of like, you kind of want to make sure Jacob Chikrin wants to be here to an extent. He's got he does have 3 years left on his deal. So you probably just do that swing anyways, actually. Yeah.
What about the thing that I thought that was most funny that I saw the other day was Pierre-Luc Dubois telling the Jets that he was leaving, but like 2 years.
In 2 years.
That is a fucking wild maneuver.
That is.
I haven't seen anything like that. Like, hey, don't even bother. 2 years from now, I'm testing free agency.
Yeah. So you have to trade him now.
Like that's a trade request without so much saying, is it?
That's the most passive trading request there is.
The Winnipeg Jets are the team to watch this summer. Like if they don't have a choice but to blow it up because no one wants to come back. Yeah, like Wheeler, they could very well deal, but his contract is terrible. Scheifele, they could very well trade. Dubois, I could see them moving him too. And like if you're trading all these guys, you're sitting there with a super expensive and yet still average blue line and a high-end goalie and 2 good forwards at that point. Yikes.
I love it.
Yeah, they might not be very good next year.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
They should offer out gift cards to Mitzi's. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right. We should wrap this thing up, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. We should. All right. That's
going to just walked out. He was so bored.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he's gone.
He left.
Oh, Chalmers left too. So
Chalmers also speculation does not work for Chalmers either.
Nope. Then that's going to do it for episode 391. Shout out to the HGA group, Alfa Romeo, Cattail Crossing, and our friends at Oodle Noodle and DoorDash. Thanks for tuning in to episode 391. We'll be back on Thursday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.